Hello and welcome to yet another cast. For you today I have a 3v3 played on the matchmaker, not 3v3, 4v4 played on the matchmaker on the map of Abrogation. I cannot recall ever playing on this map or casting this one before, so this is gonna be a first, I guess. But we have Team 1 in the west, Team 2 in the east, right here. And let's introduce the players. Let's start with the southernmost slot for Team 1. There we have, in orange, going Cyprian and opening first land, Lorem Ipsum. Sadly, my Latin isn't that great, so I have no idea what that means. Other than realizing that that sounds Latin. Anyway, to the north of that, in burgundy red, also going Cyprian and opening first land, we have Vessayon, I guess, or Vession? Vession? How the fuck is that spelled? Vesium, I guess. God, having a really hard time with that. Anyway, to the north of that, in piss yellow, going Seraphim and opening first air on what is most likely the air slot, we have Lieutenant Dan with legs. Well, I guess they will, they didn't lose their legs to that napalm attack in Vietnam in that case. Just like, unlike their other, well, the other Lieutenant Dan, they did lose their legs in that. Well, anyway, to the east of that, in red, going UEF and opening first land, we have Kirai? Something like that. And yes, I point out that they are going UEF and opening first land in red, so yes. Now, for Team 2, on their northernmost slot, in purple, going Seraphim and opening first and second land, we have Just Awesome. Then, to the south of that, in dark blue, and going Cyprian, opening first land, we have Dimasik, whatever, yeah, no. Dimasic, something like that. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Probably just gonna stick with something like dim or just dark blue, not too sure. To the south of that, in cyan, going UEF and opening first land, we have Chewy51, I'm just gonna refer them as Chewy. And last but not least, to the west of that, in normal blue, going Cyprian, opening first land, we have Dwarfers. Right. Anyway, bottom map. It is on technically on 20k base, but we see that it's zoomed in quite a bit, so I expect that Abrogation is actually 15k map. Reclaim-wise, we have these plateaus, and there's a bunch of that dotted around these plateaus. Well, at least what I think are plateaus. Well, I guess you could call them that. Ditches with a slight elevation in the middle. And a bunch of smaller reclaimed fields in the back. Bunch of bigger rocks here. Yeah, nothing too great. I should probably get out the reclaim counter to actually see 7k roughly. How much has already been reclaimed? That is 5.5k approximately. So we're looking at around 11k reclaim on this entire map. 11 to 12k. Not too much, but a fair bit. Right. ACU is moving already towards the middle. Dark blue or Dima or however already down quite in the middle quite a bit. And never mind, ACUs aren't actually moving into the middle that much. They seem to be holding their current position. Kirai, something like that. I have no idea how to pronounce AIY properly. So I guess I'm just gonna stick with Kiri or something like that. Keeping that ACU in the base. Not wishing to use that against the opponent. But getting a small run by with a single striker, though that did get picked up by the ACU of Just Awesome, before it could do any major damage. 3 air scouts out. Lieutenant Dan with Lex already out with a transport, getting the drop on this plateau with that single MX right here. I'm probably gonna shorten that to just Lieutenant Dan. Also, I'm not sure where Lieutenant Dan comes from. Maybe my head is just completely out of pronouncing proper English words properly that I read. That could just be it, or English names. But yeah, no, it is Lieutenant Dan, and I'm probably just gonna shorten it to that. We do have a T1 bomber out right here for Chewie. That seems to be harassing Lorem Ipsum. And though there is already mobile A, they did move up and starting to... never mind, it did move down, but only got a few shots into the bomber, but apparently enough to shoot it down. I don't think that did any damage. So that didn't go too well. Transport also out for Chewie to maybe... never mind, that's going right here. Trying to grab this rock right here, these roughly 300 mass. But NG for Vessi or Vession or something like that already in the area. Picking up most of the reclaim, nothing of value left. They have a really hard time with the names today. Also another bomber out for Just Awesome as well, but that also gets shot down by mobile AA before it can do anything. Seems to be a theme today. Right down here on the south side skirmishing between Dwarfus and Lorem Ipsum. Just a few mantas for both sides, doing a bit of stuff, firing into each other, but currently no losses, and even if there were, with ACOs in the area, that wouldn't have mattered too much, especially with those just two mantas for Dwarfus. Gun going out for Kiri, so I guess they intend to move up that ACO as soon as that finishes, getting aggressive. Still with a bit over 30 seconds left. I expect that they are power stalling. Or it's a mass stall. It's both. Hard to do both since your power consumption goes down when you stall mass, but... well, they do manage to do that. I guess the issue is when you power stall, you reduce your mass income. And thus, you just end up stalling both. But they end up finishing that upgrade and can use that. Down here in the south, big push against Lorem Ipsum out from Dwarfus, and Lorem Ipsum already very low, into the red at 1.6k HP. Definitely in danger of just being walked down by Dwarfus, right at the start, basically. A few mantas trying to move up to block the shots, but I don't think that will be sufficient to save Lorem Ipsum. Maybe if those can block the movement of the ACU, but they don't. However, Dwarfus stops moving. Never mind, they do continue. And thus they get more shots into the ACU of Lorem Ipsum. Now Phrynos coming in for Dima to support as well. That ACU is doomed. Down to around 200 HP. And there it goes. Just at just about 8 minutes, or 8.5 minutes, Lorem Ipsum is the first player to go down in this game to the com push of Dwarfus. Right. So Team 1 already down one player, starting to get a bit of a disadvantage right here. The ACU for Dwarfus continuing to fire down into a single land factory. But by the looks of it, Bessie already aware that they did inherit the stuff, starting to move the NGs, and let's see, did they also? Yes, they did continue production. They also have T2 land. So let's see how that will be utilized. But on the note of T2 land, let's see, is there also T2 land out for Dwarfus? Does not look like it. Slight disadvantage right here. Also not grabbing this plateau, those are two very valuable maxes that they definitely should have collected by now. They are collected on the opposing side, so they're definitely gonna be a disadvantage for one team. And big push currently in the north out from Kiri with a bunch of spam. Though I just saw a few labs. Yeah, there are a few labs, maybe from a misclick. Maybe they are also just still building labs for some reason. Though at this point building labs is basically just not worth it anymore because they can't get value properly. Since normal T1 spam just counters that very well. But the push... Well, the RT is will take out DPD right here. That's basically preventing this army from pushing in, but with the counter army of Just Awesome, I don't think that they will actually be able to push in properly. Just Awesome now also starting to get up some T2PD. Also already some back here to defend this. Very ballsy frontline radar right here out from Fury. I guess they aren't too aware of what their opponent has. But that did get noticed, so there will be a bunch of tanks that do move in and take out the NGs, and probably also the radar very soon. And I have Nichinos. Down here we have a small run by Vasi, apparently getting past the units of Dwarfos. However, we already have forces for Dima moving in to try and, or not to try, but to intercept that. Also with a whole bunch of Viper MML launchers. Nice to see, though I don't think they are really that great of investment right now, as the opponent for Dima did not go into T2PD, making them, well, not pointless, but not too effective, as they don't do well against moving targets. And they are called mobile missile launchers for a reason. Hoplites out for Vasi. Interesting call. I don't think it's the right one though, as they do need to be microed very properly to actually get their value, since they aren't very tanky. They have some good TPS and good range, but well, just not the HP pool to make that too effective if not microed properly. Dwarfos now with a gun upgrade pushes in the south with that ACU. And also a bunch of spam. There is a stealthy generator in there, so I expect that they have T2 land now. Also a bunch of AA currently shooting down a bomber out from Vasi that is trying to defend. Let's check, and yes, there is T2 land. Nano going up on the ACU for Vasi. So I guess they will be trying to use that commander more aggressively very soon. And right here we have Kyori trying to push out against their opponent Just Awesome with Gun and Nano. UEF Nano mostly just increases HP pool and a bit of regen, but not too much. Though that is not too bad, since UEF does get access to 2 survivability upgrades. Though Kyori only has 1 of them with the Nano upgrade. But the answer of Just Awesome in this situation is just building up a whole bunch of T2PD, and with Kyori not making too big of an investment into T2 land and building no MMLs right now, that is going to pay off. For the moment being. Though the thing to keep in mind is that PD is not mobile, so it can defend one flank, but there's always just the option to walk around it. And there's always kind of a weak spot, for example here where we only have 1 PD. The second one has been started and is being finished by a T1 NG. And down here just more T2 firing into the T1 spam. T2 usually trades very well into T1. While it is slightly less mass efficient, you just have more dense HP and survivability. Not HP and survivability, HP and DPS, meaning that on equal numbers you will just do better, as you would expect from higher tier units. What is interesting to see, what I would have almost missed, we have a Strat Bomber out from Lieutenant Dan, currently going after Dwarfos, with the support of a bunch of T1 bombers. And I'm pretty sure that Dwarfos will go down to that. Let's see, is there T3 air out for Chewie? Yes there is, but currently just 2 ASF. Well, never mind 3, but they were not there in time to take out the Strat Bomber, and thus Dwarfos does go down to... Well, I wouldn't call it a Strat Sniper since it was a single lost Strat, but... Well, going down to a Strat. to the strat play from Lieutenant Dan. God, why is my nose this itchy? Very unusual. But this is of course full share as it is played on the matchmaker, so that also did get gifted over to Dima as the highest rated player, but they just gifted over to Chewie as they were already on that, busy on that flank, I guess, to take care of micro that. Though, well, never mind, there was some stuff queued up, so yeah. They are aware that they have the control over this shit. Or this stuff. But they have to use that. Now, tactical missile upgrade going up for Just Awesome. The Seraphim, and also the UF, though that is currently not relevant as this is the Seraphim ACU, do get the ability to upgrade a tactical missile launcher on their back. And that is basically exactly what it says. It's just a normal-ass tactical missile launcher on the back of your ACU. It does this, I'm pretty sure it has the same range and it does the same damage as normal tactical missile, basically the same characteristics. If you look at that big yellow circle. And of course also can just be shot down by TMD. The special thing with UF is of course that they can upgrade that to the Billy Nuke, though once again, not the UF having that upgrade, so not too relevant right now. We now do have some bricks out for Bazzi, who is also pushing out with that ACU. They need to be a lot more careful since they may have nano, but E2PD in large numbers still will just completely melt away that HP pool. Even the tickle guns of the Cypher. But yes, here we have the T3 LAN HQ. Just throwing out bricks. Currently not sure who would be pushing on this southern side right now, if it's Vasi or Chewie. Though Chewie has the superior tech on the units, meaning that they are the ones winning this. But there are a few T1 units running past. Sorry about hitting the mic down. No, they don't seem to be using that too well right now. Another push into the firebase of Dima from coming out from Mercy with a larger number of bricks now. And getting some nice overcharges in. But those bricks slowly going down to the Cerberus turrets. Though at the same time, these bricks, as the name might suggest, are very tanky. Just being walking bricks. In the most literal sense. But they do end up going down just to overwhelming numbers of PD. Though the situation does get turned from bad to worse, as a bunch of Titans also appear now for Kiri. Now let's see, how is tech looking for Just Awesome? They are currently at T3 land. Well, that's good to see. But they are currently still primarily producing T2. And with Titans on the field, they definitely should turn their heads to building some Othams. As the special Seraphim T3 land unit, or well, not special unit, but the Seraphim T3 land unit. Lieutenant Dan, in the meantime, in the back, just expanding their Diacrit. Currently still only set on their HQ. How does it look on this side? Already much more of an Acrid out for Chewie, though two of those factories are idle. Not sure if it's just mass struggles or... Yeah, they have a bit of mass struggles, not too much. Though they are also still sitting on primarily T2 maxes by the looks of it. They can definitely get around that if they start upgrading those to T3. Sorry if I'm really irritated at times, but as already pointed out, itchy nose. I think this first forecast, just me having that kind of nuisance going on right now. And I don't know what's causing it. Now, small T1 push out here in the south throughout Shui. There is a big wave of Zeus in the area. Maybe to try and deal with that, though they do miss their target, just flying past. And they were noticed, so ASF are coming in to take those out. Not ending up too effective there. And that run by actually does get a few maxes, though all only at T1. So I guess nothing too impressive there. And a same-old situation starts to develop now, with no one really actively pushing by the looks of it. Let's see, anything in the works? Well, a BD creep has been started by Dima, though since we are at the T3 stage, I think it's a bit late for that now. As bricks can easily just overrun small amounts of PD. So you do need to build up big batteries in order to defeat those. And I would also expect a experimental to be in the works, and yes, there is. Mercy is building up a Monkey Lord. And that will just walk through that firebase. Now, any other experimentals currently under construction? Like a Monkey Lord out for Chewie. Does not look like it. And we also see artillery fire. There are now a bunch of trebuchets in the area. Nice to see. I do quite like myself a good trebuchet, as those are generally a good way to deal with fire bases. They have higher range than tactical missile launchers, or not tactical, mobile missile launchers, though not the same as T2RT. But they cannot be stopped by TMD since they are just, well, plain normal old artillery. So they just, I guess the projectiles are just too fast or something like that, or too small to be picked up by missile defenses and stuff like that. And I know that that is not how missile defense targeting works in this game, but I guess that would be the logical answer to that, assuming using actual logic instead of game logic. And I mean, even then, the projectiles still have an HP pool, just like all projectiles in this game, I'm pretty sure. So I guess they could technically collide with another projectile, taking out both. Because yes, projectiles can basically just connect with everything, or hit anything in their path as they are fully simulated, including other projectiles. But the Monkey Lord for Versi does finish. And the plasma bolters on the front already firing into the energies out reclaiming. But also about now starting to hit PD. And the big problem right now I suspect is coming into this situation is the fact that the Monkey Lord does have stealth, and well, there was just Scout flying over, so that no longer applies, but Monkey Lord does have stealth, meaning that cannot be targeted by PD without being scouted, without being in line of sight, meaning that it can bring its turrets or its sponsoring guns on the front to bear without actually being fired back on, since they do have a pretty decent range. Of course not the highest by any means, but it is good enough. And it is somewhat, and they aren't too strong, so whatever. The big strength of the Monkey Lord, of course, being that big fuck-off beam on its back, basically. The Cyprin laser. That just helped in taking out the firebase, and it's just taking out anything that has been placed on the frontier now. Just marching through. And we do see a bunch of T1 bombers, though we have flag in the area, meaning that those will quickly die. Getting off singular passes, but Monkey Lord already wetted once, and there is currently not too much to oppose it, and if that actually gets into the base, into the backline, then that will just wet even more and survive this. And though it does go down quite a bit, below 8k HP right now. And even though we can't see that veterancy bar too well, we can see the the end of it, which does indicate that it is very close to rank of veterancy. Sadly, we cannot see it fully due to that UI bug. And yes, it did wet once again, but it does still end up going down to just large amounts of PD that was quickly thrown up by the looks of it. So, fair enough. But I suspect another one was already under construction, and it is not only under construction, it is already finished, though currently just AFK. Or not being utilized. Very sad to see. In the meantime, small brick force for Chewie is starting to push through down here in the south. Though I don't expect that to achieve too much right now. Dimas has been pushed back quite a bit, forced to utilize a large number of T1 bombers, Chewie is forced to use a large number of T1 bombers to try and support that. Lieutenant then pointing out that they lost air, though considering the fact that their opponent is currently busy just spamming out T1 bombers to defend, they definitely have the ability to get back there, and I hear a chicken. Right, yes, a chicken was built up by Curie. Completely missed that they had access to Seraphim tech. I guess that may have been gifted over by Lieutenant Dan. But there was a small run by of Orphans that did get a few maxes, however that the remains of that did get taken out by the chicken. The Authortha. The Seraphim experimental assault bot. Now, the second monkey is starting to push in, this time with a large number of T1 bombers overhead, already waiting for it, and just utilizing its small AA missile mounts that do decently well against the T1 bombers as they aren't too tanky, but the AA is generally speaking not too amazing. You should not rely on it. But Monkey Lord meets a few bricks, does just completely obliterate those with the laser, but will probably just go down to the T1 bombers now. Thus not getting too much value right here. And there it goes. T1 bombers being a very effective solution to most experimentals, as they are quickly spammed up and very cheap. God damn it, she knows. Since this is bothering me this match, I'm probably not gonna cast another game today. Though don't worry, there will be the usual number of casts for this week. I will make sure of that. But yes, T1 bombers continuing to get some damage down onto the remaining bricks. That did push with the chicken. In the meantime, not with the chicken, with the Monkey Lord. In the meantime, the chicken is... Never mind, I was about to say it is starting to push, but... Well, okay, there's an army gathering with that. There's also a counter chicken out for Just Awesome. So I guess that will actually just be a matter of who has the bigger army with their chicken. Instead of building more monkeys, the Vessi has decided that they are now going to start building megaliths, which do have a bit of a different utility field than the Monkey Lord. As a, well, kind of mobile factory, also kind of long-range fire, as that is the longest range direct fire unit, also the tankiest unit in the game, at a whopping 110k HP, allowing them to tank quite a bit and just be the perfect siege unit. Well, not perfect, since it still gets outranged by T2RT, but well, still a very good siege unit, just due to being tanky and having those long-range guns. That also do quite a bit of damage. Now, Mercy getting in the area with their commander, trying to deal with these bricks. However, very dangerous call, and well, apparently they're undoing as they just get focused on by the bricks and end up dying. Lieutenant Dan, seeing the situation, apparently decides to control K. Never mind, decides to probably disconnect as that ACU died with a lot of delay, which usually happens if the player disconnects. Leaving back Kiri. And them currently facing off against the remaining 3 players of the Eastern team. Now, the chicken for Kiri is starting to push in against the chicken of Just Awesome. Chicken for Just Awesome does go down, though the chicken for Kiri is also very low on health, and does go down now as well. Though, all in all, I would say that engagement did go in favor of Kiri. Only problem is that reclaimed field is in the basically front yard of Just Awesome, meaning that they will get that reclaim. Now, broadswords being utilized by Chewie to push back the army of Kiri with that monkey, with that megalith. And broadswords are very dangerous, as they do have a lot of DPS. The flag cannon on the back of the megalith trying its best, but just not being nearly enough to chew through the 6k HP of a broadsword. And thus continuing to do little while the broadswords just wither down the HP pool of the megalith. Though saying that, a bunch of broadswords do drop down, I suspect partially just due to the air fight going on. Run by of bricks in the from the south in the meantime. Faced off by a Monkey Lord. That is picking up most of that, but not before a bunch of mexes do actually go down. And the megalith continuing to push forward now, trying to back through. Now, let's see, anything special going on? More chickens going up for Just Awesome. Another one in their main base, another one on the front. Oh well, the one at the front I already pointed out being there. Currently no experimentals out for Fury on that flank. But a sizable force of possibles which do quite well against chickens. Or any experimental for that matter. Well, not quite as well against GCs due to their tractor arms, or tractor claws, but other than that, they do quite well. Those bricks did actually get quite far, but now just being picked up or picked off by a very large number of T1 bombers. Before they manage to kill another T3 mech. Push now started for Kiri on the front. 2 chickens now out for Just Awesome, who is walking the ACU past the area, I guess just to get that into the main base now. And the force of Percival's is retreating for now. Trying to get safe. And with the Percival's not actually moving into range, they also don't do any damage against the chickens, as the chicken does outrange them. And, well, there was a bunch of T1 bombs that tried getting in there, but you just saw the wall of flag moving into there. However, the army just forced to retreat due to not really committing to a push against the chickens. Big thing is, if your units have inferior range to your opponent, you have basically always 2 choices. Either you fall back when your opponent pushes you, but you can only ever fall back so much, or you actually commit, because otherwise you are just going to lose. If you don't do either, then your units will just get slowly picked off by the unit anyway, and, well, then there's really nothing to stop them in the case of emergency. If you fall back, you still have them in case your opponent follows, but yeah. There's now another chicken out for Curie. And I was about to say that there is not much of an army supporting the push of Just Awesome, but no, there definitely is. There is a very sizable force of Awesome in the area, with Bricks now also moving up. So I would say that they will need equal numbers of experimenters on this, if they want to stand a chance. Saying that, there's another chicken coming in, so they will soon have equal numbers of experimentals. And now also the Megalith coming in from the south, pouring in damage, redirecting the chickens. That is of course the perfect time for the force right here to push in. Though Kiri decides against that and just mirrors the movement of the force of Just Awesome. The big thing is that both the chickens and the units for Just Awesome in this moment were out of position, meaning that a push into the flank of that would have been very devastating. Especially since the firing arcs of the chicken are actually very limiting, since those arms don't like turning. But, well, the slight delay there did not make that a possible play. Two chickens go down, basically simultaneously for both players. The other chicken for Just Awesome does go down, though they bring in another one. That is now dueling with the remaining chicken of Kiri, who is also bringing in a new one, and almost finished on another. Their big advantage in this situation is their reinforcement times, as they are a lot closer to the front with their units. Now on the southern side, two man clones pushing against Chui, and Chui does not have much to answer that, meaning that those will just break through, causing lots of mayhem. Chui in the meantime utilizing the army that is missing to defend against the monkeys right here, to push out against Curry. Up here, doing a little bit of damage. But Curry is still holding out quite well, and starting to do a lot of economic damage. While the force for Chui is not actually doing too much on that side. Let's actually look at the proper ecos. And surprisingly, Kiri actually had en masse income. Though you wouldn't expect such in considering their current 1v3 situation. Now, chicken for Just Awesome is pushing into the two chickens for Kiri. And not a good call, as two of a unit usually win against one of the same unit. But at the same time, big push of Othams, I guess trying to get around the north, causing damage there. And due to a missing counter movement out from Kiri, possibly due to microing stuff on another side as well, and I'm pretty sure I know what they are microing, currently dealing with their Air Force. Meaning that those will get past. And the big thing here to keep in mind is that the big thing you want to do for the if you are on Team 2 right now is just tie up as much APM of your opponent as possible, because it's a singular player. They can only micro units on one side of the map at the same time. And if they are fighting air in this area, you would expect them to be zoomed in at least this much, possibly even more, to do that. At the same time, not noticing what's possibly going on in the north, or maybe noticing, but setting priorities differently, and well, they are now moving in some chickens to deal with that. But the big play in a situation like this is just tying up as much APM as possible, making it as hard for your opponent to deal with everything going on as possible, and just first off cause a lot of just psychological damage by giving them so much to pay attention to everywhere on the map, basically just overwhelming them. And on the other side, making it impossible for them to actually react properly to everything, allowing some of your pushes to get through. Now, there is a push, another push now going out for Just Awesome against the main line of Kiri. And the chicken for Kiri just pushing in. Possibly also another thing followed by their current situation that they just don't have the APM to micro everything perfectly. It's making some misplays, like just sending in this. And sending in the chicken. Also building up a Sorpa now to, I guess, well, that seems to be sent in with the intention to kill off the aircraft for Chewie. The Monkey Lord in the meantime did get a lot of damage done. Let's see how much exactly. 57k mass killed, 58k mass killed. And on 5 ranks of veterancy, giving it a whopping 135 regen and 67,000 total HP, though currently down to around 25k due to already taking damage. But about to take out the land HQ for Dima. And that will definitely be a big deal, since that will prevent their ability to build any more D2 land for the time being. Now, there was also apparently an Ass Washer built up by Kiri, though, and there's an immediate reaction out from Chewie, trying to get a dive on that with their ASF. But there is also A in the area that is firing into the ASF for Chewie. The Ass Washer does go down, targeting down some of them that made it past the front line. But where's Sorpa? The Sorpa did make it through, killing off most of the aggregate for Chewie, only leaving one support factory and the HQ. Though a lot of AA now built up in the base for Chewie. But that did completely cripple their ability to build any air. And Nada Uwasa has finished. Chewie's Air Force completely wiped out now at the same time, well, almost completely, meaning that they have no chance of really recovering from this. The monkey apparently made it up to here, did end up getting killed off by the chicken though in the end, but leaving a trail of destruction. But another Awasa finishes, and this one will just be able to penetrate deep now, due to no Air Force countering that properly now. Or well, the small Air Force that is capable of countering that can just be picked off by Chewie's much larger Air Force now, as they do have the ASF numbers. But before even sending that in, already a second Awasa just being built up by Kiri, so I guess there's their intention is to utilize two at the same time to cause maximum amounts of damage. At the same time, the 3 chickens pushing in for Just Awesome against the front line of Kiri, which are running into a small defensive formation of Ravagers, though I expect them to just overwhelm that very soon. But Uwasa does come in to take to get some bombs into there. One bomb drops, that should take out the other chicken. Well, almost. The Ravagers will probably just take that out now. However, that will probably be able to take out the chicken that is still pushing in right here. Well, never mind, there's also another chicken moving in for Kiri. Though the ACU for Kiri in a very bad situation right now. Already down to half health due to some circumstance. The other chicken for chicken for Kiri out, getting in damage. The chicken for Just Awesome does go down before it can do too much damage, or before it can get to the ACU. Kiri building up more PD, though army coming in here. Chicken is moving in to defend that. And the shields pop back on to protect the ACU for the time being. Dropping a bomb right here would be very bad, as the Awasa does steal friendly fire. And second Awasa finishes. And that does seem like they are targeted on a... yeah, that does look like they are targeted onto the ACU of Chewie. I guess 2 Awasas so that one can drop the shield, the other one can immediately kill the ACU. At the same time, also 3 Monkey Lords and a Megalith pushing in against the front line right here of Dimas, who does have a monkey of their own, though 1 monkey will not win against 3, especially with that Megalith support. Also another monkey right here, and the Awasas do come in. Okay, first one drops onto the aircraft, taking out 2 P-Gens and a air factory. And apparently dropping shield, possibly due to power stall. The second one drops onto the AC of Chewie. Now the initial drop does not do any damage due to the damage being done in 2 bursts. But the burst of the big explosion comes in, taking out Chewie very low. Another bomb dropped onto the AC of Dimas, who does go immediately down. Chewie is surviving due to having that T3 upgrade on the ACU. And with that, we are now in a 1v2 situation. The situation is improving for Kiri. Taking out Dimasik. Or Dimasik. Or however you say that. Another bomb drops on Chewie, so there goes their ACU. Making this, turning this into a 1v1 situation. Chicken is pushing into Kiri, though, so they do end up going down. Very close. There was apparently bomb dropped onto the ACU of Just Awesome though, so this could have almost gone very differently, but in the end Just Awesome managing to still win this, even though due to the very close end. Now, I hope you enjoyed this cast, even though I was a bit distracted due to the aforementioned itchy nose. My worst enemy to this day, I guess. Well, other than not being focused, distracted, being tired, you know, the usual stuff. Anyway, this was streamed live on Twitch, link to that will be, as per always, down in the description. If you did enjoy this, leave a like, or don't, I can't force you. And, God, too confused, too out of concept right now to actually do my outro properly. God damn it. Yeah, if you want to be notified when more videos like these, or more casts like these come out, you can always subscribe. It's of course completely free, as well, it's YouTube, of course it's completely free. That's how this works. But yeah, there will be more casts like these, so it's definitely worth it. Usually 3 a week. I know, a blistering number compared to the amount of casts you see coming out from most casters, who at most upload something like 1 cast a week, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope to see you again in a future one, and till then, bye.